Hello, listeners.
Hello.
Welcome to a discussion that breaks away from the standard conversations being had around Western agriculture, science, and communication. I'm Jackie Coffin.
And I'm Merritt Emke. Jackie and I are both students in a class through MSU School of Agriculture. Health, Poverty, and Agriculture, Concepts and Action Research taught by Dr. Florence Dunkel. Dr. Dunkel brings to her students a challenge and opportunity to identify the limits of knowledge in Western systems of science, agriculture, land, animal and resource management, policy, and more. By doing this, we look into other ways of knowing and prioritize traditional ecological knowledge.
Traditional ecological knowledge is rational, reliable knowledge collected and held by native indigenous cultures around the world, including here in Montana. It has long been ignored or rejected, belittled or appropriated by Western society, the scientific community, and circles of agriculture, communication, and policy making.
Jackie and I are both journalists, and while taking this class and working with Dr. Dunkel and community leaders and teachers on the Northern Cheyenne Reservation, we were requested to put together some kind of media to share some of the traditional ecological knowledge held by this community. Specifically, Northern Cheyenne Elder Linwood Tallbull.
LINWOODTALLBULL.
Linwood is a tribal elder, an ethnobotanist, founder of the Lame Deer Botanical Garden, and professor at the Chief Dolknife College in Lame Deer. These are Linwood's stories.
My name is Linwood Tallbull. The place I was raised it's about 2 miles from on the Highway 213 going towards Sheridan on the Kirby Valley. And my family have always lived there, and that's where I live right now. And it's a good place to be raised. You know, they have probably some of the most plants of any place, and it's always good to be from a place that has so many memories, fond memories. Every part of this land has a memory. I still remember every different parts of it that where we picked turnips with the grandmother, where an old man used to walk by every other day with a wheelbarrow, pushing a wheelbarrow, going to town and going to the Busby, which was 5 miles away. He would push a wheelbarrow every day. Every part of the land has a story. Every creek bend has a story where we fished, where we had campfires, where we dried meat, where our bridges were. Everything has a memory. There's a good memory of the place. That's why I like the land, because it has with Indian life, everything has a story. Every plant, every bug, everything has a story. When our Creator created the land and placed animals and trees and grasses and bugs and different things on that land that He created, He gave each of them a spirit. And because they had that spirit, they were willing to share their gifts with man. They were all happy because they were all related. They believed that we are related to everything on this earth, the trees and everything, the elements. They are our relatives. So this is how we look at stuff like that. And a lot of people that are lost in this scientific studies, and rely on that, they will never understand spirituality of the Indian people, because they're always looking for an excuse to tear something up or correct something. And looking at scientific things in a scientific way isn't how you deal with the way Indians think and how Indians are taught. how can you get a plant to help you with healing if you don't believe in it? The Indian people, a lot of our healing is done from the inside out. We look for the root cause. Western medicine is the opposite. It looks from the outside in. That's how their healing is done. So the healing differences are there is a lot of difference there, and like I said, everything has a story. Every plant has a story, and some of them are long stories, but it was how our people, our children, were able to learn because they loved stories. So coming from this valley, it holds so many memories. Right across the creek is where my grandmother used to told me of the last buffalo that was killed on the reservation, and it was very, very interesting to be with her when we dug up the hide that they had hid in the skull, and it was real interesting that way. And so every part of this land holds a memory to the Indian people. Different mountain ranges, and they love the land.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
for listening in on the inaugural episode of the Other Ways of Knowing podcast. That's all for now.